Hi guys, welcome to Pasha's Kitchen, home of wholesome home recipes made simple with love and with passion. This is where all the magic happens, and I trust you'll stay tuned and we'll enjoy this journey together. So today we're going to use our oven. Very many people buy this 4-burner cooker but rarely get to use the oven because they assume or mainly think that it's just for baking. Today we're going to use it for something slightly different. We're going to use it for grilling. And today we're making grilled chicken with sauté potatoes. Karibuni. First off, you will start by preparing your ingredients. As you can see, I've already prepared mine. You get some potatoes. This depends on how many people you're looking to serve. Get some onions. I usually use both red onions and spring onions. I'm a big fan of onions, but to your preference. Some dania and a broiler chicken. You can use kienyeji, but I chose to use broiler because it cooks faster and it's softer. This particular oven has a rotisserie function, which is what we're going to use today. Rotisserie in normal lingo is just a grill, a rotary grill, or kukusama, which is what we're going to make today. So you're going to use this skewer, as you can see. But you're going to skewer the chicken as it cooks. Now here is where we are going to skewer the chicken. Remove this part over here. It's normally used to hold the chicken in place. It's a whole chicken. Just skewer it through and through. Now these prongs are what are used to hold the chicken in place. Then you use the other prong on the other end. Let's just tighten it. Use this prong on this other end, just to hold the chicken in place, and you tighten. It normally has some screws, as you can see, so you just tighten the screws, make sure the chicken is nice and firm. Now you place your chicken into the oven. This skewer has a slot at the very end where you will just insert, and this other end has a support by way of this piece of metal here, such that the chicken is suspended, doesn't touch either top or bottom. Now this is what we call a rotisserie. As you can see, it starts going round slowly by slowly. Make sure your oven is at 300 degrees as it starts. As your chicken is grilling, you peel and slice your potatoes. I have cut mine into wedges. You can either cut them into thin slices, round slices. You can cut them into halves. You can even cook them whole if you so wish. But I did mine wedge shaped. Then leave them in water and add some salt. This is because potatoes absorb salt. So instead of adding raw salt to your cooked food, you just soak them in some salty water. Soak them into some salty water and leave them there for about 6-7 minutes. They'll have absorbed enough salt. Now sautéing is a fairly simple process. All you need to do is put your potatoes in a sufuria and add some water to cover the potatoes all the way to the top. We will not boil the potatoes. We'll just let the water get hot and then we turn off the heat and let them steep there for a while. Potatoes cook fairly quickly, so just leave them in hot water for about 20 minutes. They'll have cooked through. They don't need to boil completely. Don't let them cook completely. So as the water starts to boil, just as it starts to boil, you turn off the heat and let them steep. Let the potatoes steep there for about 5-10 minutes with no heat, with no fire underneath. Let them just stay there in hot water. They'll cook through and they won't become too soft. After about 10 minutes of steeping in hot water, you drain your potatoes into a colander and remove them from the water. Drain them and put them aside. They should look something like this. You see, they are cooked, but they are still firm. They are not soggy. They are cooked, but they are still sort of firm. They are not so soft. They are not mushy. That is ideally how they should be. That is the main reason why we don't boil them. Now, after about 20 minutes, you can just check on your chicken. As you can see, it's grilling nicely. Looks really good. Starting to brown. So just let it cook nice and slow. I'm an advocate of slow cooking, so I even reduced my oven temperature to about 250 degrees so that the food cooks slowly and completely. So you can see the whole point of the rotisserie. Into the same pan that you cooked your potatoes, you put some oil and add, I'm a fan of onions, so I put a lot of onions. You can add your onions to your desired quantity. Notice I cut them into slightly bigger pieces, not too fine. So you fry your onions. Let them fry until brown. Once your onions start browning, don't let them get too brown. This is where you add your potatoes. Don't let them get too brown. Add the potatoes at this point and mix thoroughly. Now, instead of using a spoon, don't use a spoon so that you don't mash them up. You cover your sufuria with the lid and you just agitate to make sure they are mixed up properly. Make sure you mix up the onions entirely. After mixing the potatoes and the onions together, turn off the heat. Don't let them cook anymore. Let them stay like that. And now come and add your dania on top as a garnish. After adding the dania, you agitate again. And voila, you have a beautiful sufuria of sautéed potatoes that taste really good and they smell heavenly. You notice you did not use any spices. It's a pretty basic food, pretty simple to make. Now to serve. After about 30 minutes of grilling, your chicken should be ready on the rotisserie. Should have turned into a nice beautiful golden brown. It's a broiler, it cooks fairly quickly. That's why I didn't put too much heat. As you can see, it's turned nicely. Now you can turn off your oven and let it stay there until you're ready to remove it once you're done with your cooking. This is how your chicken should look like once cooked. This takes about 40-45 minutes to cook under medium to high heat, and it's quite a good way of using your oven. So the oven is not only for baking, you can use it to grill as well and make interesting food like this. Serve and enjoy. Sauté potatoes, oven grilled chicken, and a side of kachumbari. Tamu sana.